Hey guys, it's Mel. Welcome back to my channel. I'm heading out to a book fair this morning, which I'm pretty excited about. So this particular book fair, it's about a 45-minute drive from where I live. It's just out of my state over the border, and it is in a small country town. So I really got no idea what to expect. I don't know if this is going to be like their biggest book sale they have of the year, or if it's going to be just like a tiny thing in a little town hall. I've also got no idea what the pricing is going to be like on any of these books. But I am excited to be out doing something different, not being in a charity shop, and being able to have a big browse of hopefully a large amount of books. The worst case scenario is one of the best meat pie bakery shops is located right across the road from where this book fair is going to be. So if all else fails, I will get to drive 45 minutes for one of the best pies, meat pies, that you will ever find in Australia. Let's go. This is actually a pretty good sized book fair. I'm seeing some old books, sporting books, autobiographies. What have we got over here? We've got some gardening books, reference books. Ooh, the bargain box for 50 cents. That's what I like to see. I see some vintage Garfield. I should be able to lot these up into a bundle. Yes, I see some Western books. Now, Western books are some of my favourite to sell, and these are the Linford Library, which do sell for really good money. They're not in very good condition, but I'm going to grab them all anyway. Oh, I really like this book series. It's called A Tale of Redwall. These sell really well for me, so I'll be grabbing all of these. Now, they're actually pricing their books here by size, which is a little bit of a shame because a lot of the books that I would normally grab are just ruled out right from the beginning because of the size of them. The kids' books are 20 cents to $1. That's better. Now, these hardcover books by Thea Stilton or Geronimo Stilton, these sell for really big money. So I can see about 6 of them here. I'll be able to sell those for at least $60, so I'll definitely be grabbing those. Clementine Rose, there's another good bundle. Now, you all know I love to sell Bibles, and I'll definitely be picking these two up. These are 2 study Bibles that are still in their boxes. I should be able to sell each of these books for $50 to $60 each. This is a great looking book, and from my experience, I think this book will be worth anything between $50 and $60. Okay, magazines, 20 cents. Well, because the books are quite expensive, I'm definitely taking a look at the magazines. I really like the look of these old vintage grassroots magazines. I'm going to grab all of those. Now, these little kids reading books, because there's like a lot of them, they're standing out to me, so I'm going to run the comps on these. I just came back from my 3rd trip, and they asked me not to come back. I think they're worried that I'm going to buy all their books, and they've got like a 3-day weekend sale. And I'm going to ruin it for them. I'm going to buy all their good books, and they won't have any good books left to sell to anyone else, even though I'm paying the same price as everybody else. I'm not getting any discounted price. She did not give me one book on discount. Not one, not even one for free. Nothing. I've got, I don't know if you can see, I have got some stacks, and I have got some stacks here on the front seat. But really, I only went in there for 3 trips, and each time I had 2 IKEA bags. So I did fill up 6 IKEA bags. I didn't have enough IKEA bags here in the car to keep them in there. So I'd bring them back to the car, unstack them, and then go back in. So I only got 6 IKEA bags, and they weren't even that full because I was having to carry them to my car. And they obviously just didn't want me buying all those books. I've never ever been told to leave a bookshop or a book fair for somebody having fear that I'm going to buy too many books. Isn't that the point? Isn't that the point of the book fair? To sell all the books? Doesn't matter who buys them, whether or not I'm buying them in like one big load, I'm still paying the same price. They're still getting their money for their charity. I don't understand. Anyway, I guess it's 3 trips for me today. Maybe I can sneak back on the weekend with a hat. Hi, how you going? Can I please just get a meat pie?
Any sauce of it?
Yes, please.
This on card?
Yes, please.
What's up the top there? Okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you. That was a good pie. It's the next day. I'm here in the shed. I've laid out all the books that I bought at the book fair to show you. So the first thing I do when I go to a book fair is I need to find out how much the books are, because that's going to play a huge role in determining how many books I'm willing to buy there. At this particular book fair, the books were priced by the size, which makes it a little bit hard. Basically, a standard fiction novel like this was priced at $4. Now, I can't make enough money if I'm buying basic bread and butter fiction for $4, because by the time I pay the eBay fees, the shipping, there's just not enough money in it for me. So anytime I buy regular bread and butter, run-of-the-mill, common types of low-end fiction books, I need to be buying these books for $1 or less. So I can't be paying $4 for that. So automatically I knew that any of the large size novels in the fiction range were not going to be of any interest to me. However, the small fiction was priced between 50 cents and $1. And one thing I know is small fiction can actually be highly profitable, and it can sell very well for me when it's in a bundle. If it's a bundle of the same author, or if it's the same series, especially little small fantasy type books, they can sell very well for me. So I'm straight away at the book fair. I'm not interested in looking at all these large novels. I'm looking for the small size fiction. Being priced on size at this particular fair, it also meant that a lot of the non-fiction books were straight away ruled out for me, because a lot of the non-fiction books can often be large. They're large illustrated books. They might be coffee table books. They could be cookbooks. They could be gardening books. Those are all books that I like to sell, but they are often large, and the books here that were large were priced at $6 and over. Like, they had like a size for $6, and anything bigger than that, they actually wanted you to make an offer on them. So I had to be very choosy when I was looking for the larger size non-fiction books. So what was interesting at this book fair, even though this book was the size of the $6 ones on the board that they were charging, because it was a really thick book, the lady, when I went to buy it, she said to me, "You need to make an offer on that book." And I was like, oh, okay, like, isn't it one of the $6 books? And she said, no, it's bigger than a $6 book. You need to make an offer. And so it puts me in an awkward position, because it's a charity. I don't like making the offer. You tell me how much you want. Anyway, I came in with $8, and she was like, $8. A few of the items that I did purchase, they did kind of make the price up a little bit on the spot for me like that, which makes a book fair, it makes it even harder. Another example of that is you saw me pick up these 2 Bibles that are in the case. Now again, if I'm looking at this book was $4. I didn't buy this book there, by the way. I'm just saying, like, a large novel like this was $4. This is exactly the same size. So theoretically, going by their pricing, this should have been $4, but they didn't charge me $4. When I got to the counter, she looked at me and she goes, "Oh, that's a very nice Bible. You have to pay more for that." And I'm like, damn it. again, I just went along with it. I'm already at the counter. I'm not going to charge, like, make a fuss about it. And again, I already knew that this Bible I'll be able to sell for around $50 to $60. So even though I knew then that she was going to charge me more for it, and she charged me $10 for each of these Bibles, I was still quite comfortable with that, because turning $10 into $60. Okay, so all of the books on this bench and all of the magazines over there on my shipping bench, these are all the items that I picked up at that book fair. Now these 4 here are the ones that I paid a little bit more for. This one here I paid $6 for, and I should be able to sell it for about $40. And again, I paid up for those 3 books. But the rest of these are all just small fiction, and a lot of them I did buy as children's books, because the children's books were much cheaper again. These books here are a good example. These are small fiction that I've paid 50 cents each for. Now you can see the condition of these books is not great. They're very well worn, but this is a series. So I've got books 1, 2, and 3. I've paid 50 cents each, $1.50. I should be able to easily turn this sale into a $30 sale. Now, all of these books here that are in piles, it's because they're all by the same author or the same series. So what I was looking for was those cheap books that I can buy, but all the same author, so that I'm able to make those bundles, because that's where I make my money, from when I'm bundling it up. These books here are a little bit interesting. I comped these while I was at the book fair. These are the Winston Churchill war speeches. And there's a bundle of these books. I think I'm going to list these for $89. So they were a really good find. And again, I showed you these in the video, these Thea Stilton. I should be able to sell these for $60 to $70. These hardcover books really sell for some great money. And that same series does come in a paperback version. I bought all the paperbacks as well, because I have sold so many Thea Stilton, Geronimo Stilton. I have sold so many of those books in my past experience, and I know that they will sell. This was another good book of kids' books. Now I should be able to sell that bundle for about $50. Now these Western books by the Linford Western Library, these are large print books, and large print books always sell really well, but Western books sell really well. So these are only in acceptable condition. They are all ex-library books. That doesn't bother me. I should be able to get, if I was selling them all in one lot, I'd probably get anywhere between $80 and $100. I'll just have to decide whether or not I split this into 2 bundles. These are quite heavy books, so they might go over my postage weight limit, but I'll have to put these on the scales before I actually decide if I'm going to sell those in 1 or 2 lots. You saw me pick up these ones in the video as well, this Tale of Redwall series. I should be able to sell those for about $60. Now I did get quite a lot of magazines at the book fair, just because they were priced at 20 cents each. A lot of the books were too expensive for me, so I decided to spend some money on magazines. Now I'm not the type of seller who likes to sell magazines individually. I know a lot do, and I know a lot of them will sell if you're prepared to wait. They can be slow sellers when you sell individually, because you're looking for that particular buyer who only wants that specific edition. I don't have time to wait for that, and I don't have the storage space to have thousands and thousands of magazines. So I'm going to sell my magazines as a lot, as a bundle. That way I'm offering more value to the buyer. These ones here, these vintage grassroots. Now I picked up 2 lots of these. I'm going to sell them into two different bundles, because one of them's got a little bit more. One of them I'm going to sell for $59, and one of them I'm going to sell for $69. So I think one's got 10, one's got 13 or something. But if you think of 10 magazines, it's cost me $2. So to turn $2 into 60, yes, please. Okay, so these magazines were pretty cool. These are photo file magazines, and they are on like photography. Now, these were pricing for a lot more than I was expecting. I'm going to sell these in bundles of 4 for $40 each. So you can see I've got 4 bundles there. So hopefully I will sell those for $120. Now, these really surprised me when I price comped them. I did price comp them at the book fair, because as you can see here, there's a lot of them. So if I was paying 20 cents each, and they are they are quite thin. So I wanted to make sure I was going to be able to sell them. So I've bundled each of these into a lot of 20 magazines, and I'm going to try and sell each bundle for $60, which is going to be $240 just for the dinosaur magazines. Okay, so I've got a bundle of organic gardener magazines. I'm going to attempt to get about $45.99. I might not get that much, but that's what I'm going to list this bundle for. It's quite a big bundle, and it's just basically all on, you know, organic gardening at home. This bundle here of small farms, there's 7 magazines in the lot, and I'm going to try and sell those for $40. I've got 3 magazines here on classic boats. I'm going to try and sell that lot for $29. This bundle here of the New Yorker, I just really liked the covers on these. They really stood out to me as being a little bit different. I'm going to try and sell that bundle for $30. There was a bundle here of mountain bike magazines. These are quite heavy. I might have to check the weight of these before I list them, because they might have to go in 2 lots. But at the moment, I've got these priced as a large bundle for $40 because they're all different types of magazines. They're just all on mountain bike riding. So I'm going to try and sell them as a assorted mixed lot. I'm not sure how that's going to go because I do normally try and sell the exact same magazine in a lot. I haven't really tried to do an assorted lot on the same topic. So this one will be a little bit of an experimentation for me. Now, I've got these art magazines. Now, they're called Sotheby's Australia. And I've priced these out to be worth about $40 for a bundle of 4. So that's what I'm hoping for. There's 2 bundles there, $80. Fingers crossed. A few little magazines here on sustainability and energy and stuff. I'm going to try and sell those ones for, what have I written? Somewhere between 22 and 29. Maybe I need to reprice comp those. Now I've got a few magazines here called Record Collector, and I'm going to try and sell those for $29.99. So let's say I went to a book fair and all the books were $1. Well, one, I would be in absolute book heaven because $1 is my price point that I like to buy for my books. So that would open me up to being able to buy a lot of books. However, if I went to a book fair and they price them all individually, those book fairs are hard. You really have to sit in there and spend hours, and you have to price comp when you're in there because a lot of their books are priced high, $5, $6. You cannot be spending too much money on a lot of these books that are only going to sell for $20 or less. You need to stand there with your eBay app and you need to price. There is money to be made in book fairs like that, but it's time consuming, and it will help if you've got book experience, because I can go to those book fairs and go, in my head, I already know that book's only a $15, $18, $20 book. And so I automatically know with a lot of them off the top of my head, and that comes from experience. So every book fair is a little bit different. It's going to be altered on price. So all in all, I had a pretty successful trip to the book fair, even if I got told not to come back. After only 3 trips in, I am estimating that I'm going to make about $1,000 profit from this book haul. I've kind of run the numbers on what I'm going to list all these items for, and I think it's about $1,000. And that's after I've taken out all my cost of goods expenses, taken out all my eBay fees, and taken out the cost of my shipping. I think I'll be left with about $1,000 profit, providing that they all sell. Fingers crossed, guys. We don't really buy books and items with the intention that they're not going to sell. So I am really hoping that the majority of these will sell. Next year, if I go back to this book fair, but I might have to change my game plan. Might have to bring my whole family and give them all a couple of lot bags so they can all fill up and buy their books. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.